Attractions is a big responsibility.
It's a fast-paced position.
Watch all the cameras, you make sure the guests are being good.
When I had to do evacs, guests were pretty freaked out.
It's all about the storytelling, getting the guests immersed in the ride.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to work on attractions at Walt Disney World? This was my role on my college program, so it has a very special place in my heart. And today I'm going to sit down with my friend Christina, and she has actually been on 3 different attractions at Walt Disney World on 3 different Disney college programs. So we are going to sit down together just to shed light on our experiences working in this role for Disney.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Christina, and Christina is the attractions queen. Literally, she's gotten to do multiple roles at Disney at this point. So she's going to tell us all about her experience. Christina, do you want to just tell them which attractions that you worked on and also tell them your Instagram?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Christina. I worked at Disney in spring 2019 at Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Tiki Room, and Treehouse. Spring 2020, class of COVID, at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and in 2021 at Rise of the Resistance in Galaxy's Edge. You can follow me on Instagram at Christy with 2 Y's, 2_D.
Christina, what were your just favorite and least favorite parts about working attractions at Disney World?
Okay. Favorite, first thing that comes to mind is the people that I got to work with, because you just really have to work together as a team, to get everything accomplished, all the guests through, keep everyone happy. So all the cast members that I've been able to work with have been amazing. Also, track walks. Every time I ride a Disney attraction now, I'm looking for the ride path that the cast members have to walk on, because that was a really cool and unique thing. Just learning about how the attractions work has become something that I'm really interested in now after working attractions. So that would be favorite. Least favorite, I just feel like attractions is a big responsibility, because at the end of the day, you are operating a machine. So, with thousands of guests on it per hour. So it is a lot of responsibility and stress, especially when you first start the role. But in time, it becomes second nature.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I also worked on attractions. If you guys didn't know, I worked at Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'll be chatting about that here and there. But did you ever have to, because I don't know if I ever talked to you about this, but did you ever have to evacuate a ride?
I've had to evac Rise. I've had to evac Mine Train, and I did have an e-stop at Magic Carpets, but it's outside, it's not really anything serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the one at Mine Train was during my training, so it was kind of cool. We had to go in, get the guests out. We had to put a special thing in the cart so that it didn't swing while the guests were getting out, so that was pretty cool to see. And then at Rise, yes, it went down a bunch of times, so really fun to evac though. I loved it again because I got to walk on the track and bring the guests out. You had to evac, right, too, with the, what are they called, the
waiter pants?
Waiter, yes.
I had to get in the water with these pants that kept me dry and push the boats. So because it was a boat ride, it was very the guests were freaked out, because it's not they can just get out, they're in the water. So when I had to do evacs, guests were pretty freaked out, and I was trying to calm them down and assure them that everything was fine. But Pirates does break down a lot. I know I used to talk to you about this in the break room.
Well, and I used to always have to tell guests oh, sorry, Pirates is broken down, because they would want to know where it is. And I'm it's over there, but it's broken. So please come on the carpets.
Yeah.
But also Pirates is actually my dream attraction. So it's so funny. My roommate got my dream attraction.
We shared a break room. We were so hyped.
Oh, we did.
Aladdin and Pirates had the same break room. So what differences did you notice being on the Disney college program working attractions versus your full-time and part-time coworkers?
It was really just the hours we were getting and the types of shifts. We always got the closing shifts at Rise specifically, because it was newer. We got the testing shifts, which meant we had to just cycle the attraction over and over again, run it until really late at night. We would have to work those really late night events. So again, just really the hours. We would always work holidays, so things like that. But other than that, we all had to work the same positions. We all was equal luck of the draw when it came to rotations and stuff.
The Disney college program is an experience in and of itself that is So awesome. So if you get placed in attractions, like congratulations. That's one of the best roles to be placed in for the college programs. And now living in Flamingo and all of that fun stuff. So will you just explain, because I've only worked on one attraction. So
Yeah.
will you explain what are some of the common positions that you go on a ride when you're working attractions that you rotate between, and like how you felt about doing these different positions, if you had a favorite or whatnot?
Depending on the attraction you work at, there could be multiple rotations. Like I've had just one, I've had two, I've had four. Like it's just depending on the size of the attraction, level of cast that they like need to operate it. Some of the positions that are common throughout like all the attractions at Disney would be like a greeter position where you stand outside, you welcome the guests in, like you kind of like get them hyped about the story of the attraction, you answer any questions they have about the attraction. They'll also have a lightning lane cast member who checks that you have lightning lane and you can go into the lightning lane. Then as you get further in, you'll have like a merge cast member who brings both of those lines together. You have grouper at most attractions who tells you like how many in your party, where you're going to be sitting. Then you have all of your like ride operator positions where you get to press all the fancy buttons and do safety checks and safety spiels. And then at the end, you'll have your unload cast members who get the guests off the ride. They check the vehicles, make sure that like nothing was left behind. So those are like the pretty common ones. Obviously, other attractions might have like more. My favorite attractions position is definitely grouper because you just have to be like really quick, like how many, like put them in their row, in their seat, whatever. It was just really fun. It was something that I was really good at and I just like really enjoyed it. Least favorite, oh, there's like a specific one that I had to do at Rise where I had to stand in the line and just like escort guests to the bathroom or like if they wanted to leave because the line for that ride gets really long. So I didn't really like that. Things that were more just like standing around, even like greeter, a lot of people like that. I might get like shade for that, but I didn't really like it that much because again, like you're just kind of standing there. It is fun also to like have those moments to interact with the guests and it's definitely what you make of it. Like if you're just going to stand out there and just be like there it is, like entrance is here, or if you get the guest into the story and get yourself hyped, like they're going to be hyped. So like it really is what you put into it.
Do you know what my least favorite position was?
You told me before like your favorite and least favorite, so when you say it I'm gonna.
You're gonna be
Oh,
like, oh,
I forgot tower, which is the most important in any attraction where you like watch all the cameras, you make sure the guests are being good, and like if anything goes wrong, like you are in charge to fix it with the help of like coordinators and whatnot. But yeah, your
I feel
least.
like the one that I'm gonna say is my least favorite. You're gonna be like, that's one of my least favorites too, but maybe I'll be wrong.
Oh, because I was gonna say grouper. Okay, wait, what is it?
Stroller parking.
Yes.
Those,
Okay. Yes.
oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. So we didn't have that at Rise or Mine Train, and we only had
okay.
it at Aladdin to help pirates, which is
Yeah.
funny. That was like always up for you guys, I guess, huh?
Yeah. No, it was definitely one that I got, I mean, pretty frequently, but because there was so many different rotations at Pirates, I didn't spend like a lot of time at one, which I liked. But
Yeah.
stroller parking was just the worst because you have to move people's strollers, it gets out of
Yeah.
control. Where I got my angry guess was at stroller parking.
Touch them. Like I don't like touching all
Yeah,
of
it's gross. I
them.
would wear
People.
gloves.
Yeah, I remember that. People are like, "Where's my
Yielded.
stroller?" And then it's like it's just stressful because I'm like, I don't know where your specific stroller went.
And I totally understand their frustration. Like if you put your stroller somewhere, like you don't want it to be moved, but it's
But
like
you
very
keep moving
specific
all the way
reasons you
down.
have to do it.
Fill in
Yeah.
the space.
Yeah. Like it has to be done and it's not the cast member's fault. Like it has to
Yeah.
be done. But I won't get into that. Did you have to do parade crowd control or fireworks crowd control?
Yes, I've only done it one time though. I remember when I started attractions, I had really wanted to do parade audience control for Festival of Fantasy, but I never got to do that. I did have to do fireworks control for Happily Ever After though, which was really fun. Typically for Magic Kingdom, I don't know if it's the same now, but they would give you like a zone, I guess, or a spot where they wanted like a certain like amount of cast members to stay. I got to do that over in Liberty Square. You have like a special costume. You had this little like lightsaber looking thing that you would use to direct guests, answer any questions, just like stand there and enjoy the show, I guess.
I know some people who loved doing that.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
was actually my other like least favorite thing to do.
Yes, I know you have some some stories.
That was the only other time, like stroller parking and fireworks crowd control was when I got my really crazy guests who were really upset, which I always totally understood why they were upset, but it just always sucks to be on the receiving end of that. And when you're telling people that they can't go past a certain thing and you have to be like a human bodyguard, it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
I was gonna say, like, even as a guest, I've been there before where like I'll be like with my friends or family in the parks and we're like, please, like, we're just trying to go like real quick, like we'll be quick, you know? And it's like, no, like you can't. Like it's a safety thing. It's like if you do it, then like why shouldn't everyone else do it? Tough position to work for sure. It's crazy.
Forever wishing they would just give us ropes to rope off that area.
No.
Because there was sometimes where I was like the only one in a certain gap. And so I literally had to be like a football defense, like
Elastigirl.
literally Elastigirl. Yeah. But you're right. Other times it was really fun when like there was a lot of cast members there. If there's a bunch of cast members there, it's not like people can just run past you. And it was fun because like then it's like much more chill. You got to like be in a different area of the park and yeah, watch the fireworks. It's amazing. So I think my favorite rotation was unload
Love.
because it was so chill and you just got to spiel. I loved getting to spiel to the guests, like themed language, like you were saying, like
Yeah.
making the most out of it and like getting the guests into the story. Like I love that. So every time someone got back, I could say a different variation of my spiel. Welcome back, pirates. Come to shore, gather all your treasures. And that was just kind of fun for me.
It's so funny, Grace, because I will forever think of you spieling at Unload. Like, watch your step as you abandon ship, like, gather your treasure. Like, I just was at Disneyland, and when the cast member said that, I was like, Grace.
Let's talk about some magical moments because I definitely felt like one of my favorite things about being in attractions was the magic that we got to make. What was some of your favorite magical moments that you got to be a part of?
One of my favorite things is to be able to backdoor families, which is basically you take them from the exit of the attraction all the way to like the next available like ride vehicle. I was able to do that at Aladdin a couple of times actually. Some attractions have like really specific stories where you like build it up to the guests and then as you're walking with them, like you're taking them to the exit and then you like reveal to them like, hey, this is what's happening. Families were always like super excited about that. Another thing that was really cool that I got to do was called a wind walk, which is basically you would get like a pin lanyard, a bunch of at the time fast passes, but you would go around basically and you would just like talk to the guests and like make magic for them, which is so amazing. Like you can't say that you get to do that at like any job, you know? I came across this one family who was deciding like they had time for one more attraction and they're like, okay, Haunted Mansion or Pirates, like where should we go? We're not gonna have time for both. And they were like in a family feud. And I just so happened to be standing there and I was like, hey, like got a couple of fast passes for pirates, like would it help you out, like, and you can do both? And they were so grateful and it was just one of those moments for me where I was like, wow, like I really feel like I just like made their day. And like definitely as an attractions cast member, like being able to get people onto an attraction that they've been waiting for, that like this could be their first time down there and they've just like been wanting to do that ride, like I don't know, it's just like super special. So
Sometimes pulling the rotation of go make magic, like it just said go
yeah.
make magic. Something that we got to do at Pirates was, I don't know if they still do this, but we had little treasures we could give to the kids. We just had these little coins. So sometimes I would go up to a kid and be like, hey, pirate, do you want some treasure? And like the way that people react just from that of just getting like a little pirate coin was so cute.
Okay, I still have the pirate coin you gave me. And I remember being so excited when you gave that to me. So it's in my little CP box.
So why don't you tell us just kind of like what a typical shift or a typical day was like?
You go in for your shift, you clock in and you pull an assignment. So you work in like intervals of 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you switch once somebody brings you rotation. You'll usually get through like 3 positions, like about like 2.5 maybe, before you get a break. So in attractions, you always get a break after, I think it's like 2 hours. If you're there like at night, you'll have to close the attraction and do like attraction like checklists. If you are there in the morning, you have to open the attraction and do checklists, like ride throughs, like go through the line and like make sure everything's show ready.
I remember in our closing checklist, we had to check whether animatronics were wearing the certain clothes, and it was like Treasure Jack have this shirt on, and it's just like notice
Yes,
these
I
details
hope
that
so.
you would never. Going back to what you were saying about working every 45 minutes, it's kind of unique to attractions. It's a fast-paced position. Like
Yeah.
you are switching what you're doing all day, and that's why a lot of people love it. If you get something that you don't like very much, you're gonna switch in 45 minutes. Might not even work the full 45 minutes sometimes. Like sometimes I would get bummed out after 30. Sometimes
Yeah.
you work an hour. If you have a good coordinator, like you're going to be switching all throughout the day. I'm curious about this after talking to you. I know you love Magic Kingdom, but did you prefer working in
Um,
Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios?
I love Magic Kingdom. I have Magic Kingdom till the day I die. Being able to go in like the tunnels and everything, happily ever after. Come on. I am a big like Star Wars fan, so working in Galaxy's Edge was super awesome and something I really wanted.
We're going to be doing a whole separate video about her experience working in Galaxy's Edge specifically. Would you have any advice for somebody who is interested in attractions or maybe has been offered this role? What would you say is your advice?
When I first found out the attraction that I was working at, I was like, I will be going home instead. So like please keep an open mind. Like all the attractions are amazing at Walt Disney World. Like, the cast that you get to work with is really going to make the experience. Like there are going to be times where like you're in training for your first time, like it's super overwhelming. So just ask a lot of questions, let your trainers know, like, hey, I need more time, or like, hey, can we do this again? Can you explain this? Like, show this to me again. It's gonna be okay. And like, give it a chance. Like, and by that, like, a month or more. Like, don't just like wait like a week or two. Like, but it's definitely one of the best roles on property. I'm biased, but
It's really cool to see how the rides work. Like seeing it backstage is always amazed me. Like seeing how all that machinery and how the magic happened. It was just always
yeah.
really cool. So get excited if you have this role because it is honestly the best. Thank you so much for being in this video with me, Christina. Make sure to follow her on Instagram.
What is your favorite attraction in Walt Disney World? Mine, I'm gonna have to say, is Pirates, but you know, I'm a little bit biased. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna be doing a video like this for as many roles in the Disney College program as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a magical night, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye!